Objective 1. How did Mao Zedong and the communists gain power in China? Before, nationalist Jiang Zemin and Mao, the communist leader, were known to temporarily work together to fight Japan. After the war, they continued to be opponents. In results, the Soviet Union supported Mao, while the United States aided Jiang Zemin by sending him money because they thought that Jiang's defeat would spread. With the nationalists under Jiang Zemin, they felt corrupted. They relied on the rich and didn't care for the peasants. On the other hand, Mao saw something in the peasants and gained their support by promising to feed the people, preaching his thoughts of communism. With support, the communists strengthened and were able to overthrow the nationalist government. Soon, Mao's forces dominated war. The United States government wanted no part in helping the falling Zhang. In 1949, Zhang fled to Taiwan. He later became the president of the Republic of China. Mao's accomplishment was a shock to Americans. Communists controlled 1/4 of the world's landmass and 1/3 of its population. Objective 2. Describe the causes and progress of the war in Korea. After Japan's surrender in 1945, Korea fell victim to the Cold War and was divided into two by the 38th parallel. The Soviet Union took over North Korea, while the United States took over South Korea. These two emerged as two global superpowers. They both had different opinions on what society should look like. Both sides battled continuously because they didn't like the idea of the 38th parallel. The spread of communism was seen as a direct threat to Americans. On June 1950, North Korea crossed the 38th parallel. They invaded South Korea, and soon enough, North Korea succeeded in invading South Korea for a while and almost got them out of the country. Many soldiers during this time faced really hot summers and really cold winters. These things became a problem to the soldiers. In August, with the help of the United Nations, the US forces gained control. Later, they regained the capital of Seoul in September. Douglas MacArthur was only supposed to command American forces up to the 38th parallel to regain South Korea, but he decided to go overboard when fighting back. That caused him to be relieved of duty. In the summer of 1951, the war was told to last longer, but luckily, President Dwight Eisenhower took office in 1953. Eisenhower talked about the domino theory. The domino theory was the spread of communism throughout the world. It said that if one nation adopts communism, so would nearby nations. The idea of many countries becoming communist feared many Americans. The domino effect gave the USA reasons to take action to prevent the spread of communism. Though Joseph Stalin wanted war to last longer, an agreement from both sides was signed, ending the 3-year war. Objective 3. Identifying the long-term effects of the Korean War. Well, for starters, there wasn't really a victory. Korea is still divided by the 38th parallel, and China is still a communism and socialism country. In the US, the Korean War is seen as the forgotten war because neither country actually declared war to one another. The Kim dynasty in North Korea uses the war to unite the North Korean people. The war affected America in many ways. Since both the US and North Korea uses nuclear weapons, it helped the US better determine the use of them to other countries. The war also caused the US to use more money on the military. Nearly half of the federal budget was accounted in 1960. Sadly, after the war, 36,000 US troops were killed and over 100,000 were wounded. 620,000 soldiers from North and South Korea were killed. But over 1.6 million civilians throughout the Korean War died